Okay. Yes.
Hi, Kristen.
Lauren. Hi, Lauren.
Hi. So I'm brand new to the community
Oh, really?
and
Welcome.
thank you. And just really wanting to have a consistent practice of self-compassion. So wondering if you have any advice, just where to begin, number one,
Mhm.
and then just working with resistance to having a consistent practice.
Right. Okay. So let's start with the different ways you can do a consistent practice, and then we'll explore the resistance a little bit. So there are a very easy. I would start if you're starting a self-compassion practice, start easy. First of all, I'll ask you, do you already have a meditation practice or not?
Yes, I do. I
Okay.
do. Mhm.
Okay. So my research actually shows that although meditation is it's a good way to build the habit of self-compassion because we know meditation actually changes your neuronal pathways. It's actually not necessary. There's other ways to practice it other than getting quiet. Some very easy ways. Touch is one of the easiest ways to practice self-compassion. There was a study that came out of UC Berkeley that showed just 20 seconds of some kind of kind touch, maybe in a few words, like, some kind of kind supportive words, was enough, daily to build the habit of self compassion. I don't care how busy you are, you have 20 seconds, right? So,
Mhm.
starting easy, things like touch is a really good way to do it. One of my other favorite practices, which you've perhaps heard of, is the self compassion break. And it's basically, I think of it as like the three core ingredients of self compassion. So if you want to bake a self-compassion cookie, you need to start with one part mindfulness, which is just being aware of the fact that you're struggling. One part common humanity, reminding yourself that you aren't alone, there's nothing wrong with you or abnormal for whatever it is you're going through. It's part of being human. And then the third part, kindness, some words of kindness and support, the type of thing you might naturally say to a friend. You can do that in 30 seconds, or you can do like a guided practice for like a longer time. So those are probably the two easiest ways, a touch and a little self-compassion break. Having said that, one of the things I created in the self-compassion community is this practice toolkit. And if you're a guest here today and you aren't a member of the community yet, I also have a lot of practices on my website available to everyone. But I created the practice toolkit to make it really easy for people just to ask themselves, well, what do I need right now? And then I have various types of needs you might have, and then little guided practices. It's very easy. And so, you know, probably the best way to practice self compassion is when you need it. In other words, when you notice that you're upset or struggling in some way, because then that's when you're delivering the medicine when the pain is arising. But having said that, if you already have a meditation practice, there's something to be said about that daily regularity of just checking in with yourself. Maybe you're meditating and you feel peaceful because you're meditating. You might just ask yourself, but is there anything right now that I'm struggling with, or that's difficult for me right now in my life? And you could kind of do that intentionally and then bring compassion to that. Also, other practices like loving kindness meditation, which I've got a couple versions of guided practices on which where you say phrases wishing yourself well, usually also wishing others well. A lot of research shows that that also builds the habit of self-compassion when you practice this goodwill toward yourself and others. So, really the best answer is what works for you. And every
Mhm.
single person is different. Believe
Mhm.
it or not, I'm not a consistent everyday meditation person. I just never have been. What works for me is like I go on retreats, I do it when I need it. And I have like a group that meets once a week. That works for me. So there's no one size fits all. I think, do you have any inkling of what might be work for you?
Yeah, this was really helpful. I think just hearing you say that because I think I've known you for like many decades,
Oh,
and
okay.
yes, I followed you for many decades, and but I previously had a history in doing Vipassana meditation and like
Yes.
very, very,
Yeah.
very like rigid, strict Vipassana
Yeah.
meditation. So I think
Yeah.
that when I think about doing self-compassion practice, I think my mind associates with that, and that's where the resistance comes from. So it's
Yes,
just helpful to hear you
right,
say, because
right.
I
Yeah.
have experimented with touch, and I actually find that really powerful.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like the permission to
Yeah.
take what I like, leave the rest, and
If there's a part
and
of
my
you that
own.
associates this with work, compassion shouldn't feel like work. It should feel like relief.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't feel like relief and it feels like work, try some other way that feels more like a relief. I mean, when you're hurting, you just say, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm here for you. It's like a moment of relaxation. It doesn't feel like work. So I would ask yourself that question. Does it feel like work or relief? And choose the one that feels like a relief. You're more likely to do it.
Definitely. Okay, that's great. That's helpful. Thank
That's a
you.
great question, Lauren. Thank you.
Thank you.